Welcome back to ZNGP Today. Pecco Bagnaia took a much-needed lift in Malaysia, claiming the sprint win and giving Ducati and himself a reason to breathe. But the victory arrived with a health warning. The Turin rider praised the team's steady work yet admitted his 2025 campaign remains inconsistent and, at times, mystifying. For Bagnaia, the result is hopeful rather than conclusive. Progress has been made, but the underlying questions about setup, dynamics and feeling still demand answers. Gigi Dall'Igna has moved to silence growing speculation around Pecco Bagnaia's relationship with Ducati after the Italian's shock sprint victory in Malaysia. Following weeks of whispers suggesting internal friction and doubts about Bagnaia's form, the Ducati general manager drew a clear line. There is no rift, only a confusing season that still defies logic. And that speech enough? Dall'Igna demanded, closing the door on any suggestion of turmoil inside the factory box. At Sepang, under the heavy Malaysian heat, Fabio Quartararo rediscovered something he'd been missing: joy. The 2021 world champion, who spent most of 2025 wrestling an unpredictable Yamaha, finally found rhythm and confidence in the sprint. From a worrying Friday to a spirited Saturday, El Diablo reminded the paddock that even without podium pace, the fight still lives within him. Don't forget to click subscribe button and the bell icon for MotoGP news update. Bagnaia converted pace into a sprint victory, but he was candid that one result won't paper over a season of fluctuating form. Strong at Phillip Island and Japan, he then suffered disaster in Indonesia and Australia, a roller coaster that leaves both rider and crew searching for consistency. The one who deserves this victory most is my team. They're doing a very difficult job, because no one is clear about my situation. In Japan I was very strong, then Indonesia and Australia were a disaster. Wins soothe but do not explain. Bagnaia's triumph is a checkpoint, not a destination. Behind the scenes, Ducati worked late into the pits to converge both bikes toward a shared baseline. Small, methodical tweaks and focused teamwork produced the edge Bagnaia needed this weekend, proof that patient problem-solving can still yield big results. We worked late in the pits last night, and the team had to make several changes to both bikes. Christian and Tommy's ideas were right on the mark. The win is as much a team victory as a rider one, a reminder that incremental engineering gains compound into race-winning performance. Not everything ran perfectly. Bagnaia flagged the whole-shot device failed from the first lap, compromising his starts. On low-grip tracks the dynamic system can aid traction, and without it he felt the disadvantage at the launch. Unfortunately, the whole-shot device, wasn't working from the first lap. At the start it went downhill because we have a different system for the start. Small systems cause big headaches. Fixing start electronics and launch dynamics will be pivotal if results are to stabilize. Bagnaia admitted that his form often hinges on feeling, rather than pure adaptation to the machine. He's not someone who forces himself to like a setup he doesn't trust, a strength that can become a weakness when bike behavior changes dramatically across venues. I'm not someone who adapts to something I don't like, and that's a weakness of mine. This result depends more on sensations than on whether or not I've adapted to the bike. That honesty explains the swings. When sensations line up, Bagnaia is lethal. When they don't, he retreats and the lap times reflect it. The messaging from Bagnaia and Ducati is steady. Don't overreact to a single good weekend, but use it as proof the direction is right. Japan confused them. Malaysia has clarified some ideas. Now the focus is on step-by-step improvements rather than chasing instant fixes. We've understood something since the last race. We've been able to take it step by step, working day by day without getting lost in too many events. Measured progress beats panicked redesign. If Ducati and Bagnaia maintain this measured approach, the wins may become less sporadic. Pecco Bagnaia's Malaysian sprint was a tonic and a reminder. The victory injects hope and rewards tireless teamwork, but it doesn't resolve the season-long puzzle of changing dynamics and fragile sensations. Bagnaia's blunt assessment puts the onus on Ducati: keep working, keep communicating, and keep the faith. Until the feeling is consistent, this win is a step forward, not the final answer. After finishing among the Thailanders in recent rounds, Bagnaia's turnaround at Sepang stunned everyone. From struggling to qualify directly for Q2 to taking pole and winning the sprint, his form swing left even Ducati's top engineer scratching his head. "I don't understand anything either, but I like him a lot." The candid admission underlines the truth: Ducati's technical brain is as puzzled as the paddock. Malaysia worked, other tracks didn't, and no one quite knows why. "This is enough, we are happy. Pecco had a wonderful qualifying and a great race. He's shown that he is a champion who can compete for races and championships." Confusion aside, satisfaction reigns. For Dall'Igna, one strong weekend can reset morale, even if the reasons remain murky. The result arrives just as tension rumors reached fever pitch. Talk of a fractured partnership between Bagnaia and Ducati had grown after his erratic performances in Indonesia and Australia. Yet Sepang flipped the mood, from strained Fridays to triumphant Saturdays. The two-time world champion's victory doesn't just give him points, it gives Ducati proof that belief and communication still work. Dall'Igna: "We must remain calm and work together to try to have a better season next year than this one." After months of speculation about internal divisions, Dall'Igna issued his most direct denial yet. The engineer dismissed talk of a broken duo, calling it unfounded gossip. "It is like that. End of that speech, enough." The message is unmistakable. Ducati stands behind Bagnaia, and any hint of discord is off the table. Two titles together, 2022 to 2023, speak louder than rumors. Bagnaia hinted that different adjustments to the Desma set-aside GP25 had unlocked confidence in Malaysia. Dall'Igna confirmed that Ducati often experiments to match Pecco's feedback, and if it reignites his spark, that's the goal. "We always do things differently, and if this helps him regain confidence, welcome." Experimentation may finally be paying off, but stability, not surprise, will define success heading into 2026. With Bagnaia's contract due to expire soon and several riders eyeing a factory seat, questions naturally turn to 2027. Dall'Igna deflected with pragmatism, insisting Ducati's only concern is finishing 2025 strong and preparing properly for 2026. "Now it is still early. Let's finish well in 2025 and do well in 2026 before thinking about 2027. A reminder that Ducati's timeline is strategic: 1 year, one solution, one championship at a time. Beyond the factory garage, Dall'Igna saluted Ducati's extended family. Gresini's Alex Marquez claimed a fine second, while rookie Fermin Aldeguer secured Rookie of the Year honors, achievements that underscored the strength of the Bologna Armada. "I want to congratulate Alex and Fermin. They've both done great things this year. Overtaking as many times as Fermin has as a rookie is something only champions can achieve." Ducati's ecosystem is thriving, veterans, rookies, and factory leaders all finding reasons to celebrate. Sepang's sprint ended with a win, confusion, and finally clarity from the top. Bagnaia remains Ducati's man, Dall'Igna remains his defender, and the so-called conspiracy ends here. The GP25 project moves forward, one race, one revelation at a time, and inside the red garage, the message is simple: enough talking. Let the results do it. Quartararo entered the weekend visibly frustrated by Yamaha's lack of consistency, fearing another anonymous result. But his time attack in qualifying, setting the fourth fastest lap despite losing time in the final sector, was proof that his one-lap speed hadn't vanished. "I gave it 100%. We know this is a sector where speed is crucial. I did my best to get the best time possible, but we're struggling in the last sector." Those struggles defined his Saturday. flashes of brilliance contained by technical limitations. Yet for once, frustration gave way to satisfaction. Starting from fourth on the grid, Quartararo immediately lost out to Pedro Acosta but held firm in a thrilling battle involving Franco Morbidelli, Joan Mir, and Fermin Aldeguer. It wasn't about domination, but control, riding the M1 to its maximum without overreaching. Yamaha's pace wasn't Ducati level, but Fabio's racercraft shone through. The fight may have been for fifth, but the intensity felt like a podium duel. I think our pace was good, but not good enough. Fermin had great rhythm, Joan too, and I lost a lot to Frankie. But it's been a while since I had this much fun in a race. Post-race drama worked in Fabio's favor. A penalty for Aldeguer, who had run below the minimum tire pressure, promoted the Yamaha rider to fifth in the final sprint classification. Not a trophy, but a symbolic reward for Quartararo's resilience. Every small gain matters for a factory still rebuilding its foundation. Observation: his consistent top Yamaha performance once again widened the gap between him and his teammates, 8 to 9 seconds behind at the flag. Running with 2 soft tires, Quartararo managed degradation better than expected. While others faded, his lap time stayed stable, an encouraging sign heading into Sunday's longer race. My pace was slower in the second half, but overall similar to the guys ahead. You can't save your tires in 10 laps. For a rider often haunted by mid-race drop-off, this measured consistency was almost as valuable as the points. Earlier in the day, Quartararo's FP2 and qualifying pace hinted at resurgence. He clocked the 4th fastest time, with purple sectors through 3 splits, a near-pole effort that proved his raw speed remains. His comments reflected satisfaction, not resignation. El Diablo knows where Yamaha lags, top speed and rear grip, but his tone suggested something new, acceptance without surrender. The sprint may not have changed Yamaha's reality, but it shifted Quartararo's mindset. Returning to the grid from the same 4th spot, he'll face a 20-lap challenge requiring delicate tire management and more strategic patience. Sepping's long straights still favor the Ducatis, but morale, long absent in the Yamaha camp, just took a much-needed step forward. Fabio Quartararo didn't win in Malaysia, but he won back himself. The joy, the fight, the spark that once defined him are still there, hidden behind a struggling machine but now flickering back to life. As he put it best, "I did my best." In a season of frustration, that statement finally feels like progress. Thanks for watching ZNGP Today, and this is your MotoGP news update. And see you next time!